to utilize them to maximize my turn base, that is when you're gonna enjoy using these CAD tools. So yeah, it is really good right now for you to just get familiar with it, and using it is a story in the future.
Just want to jump in here for a while because we've been talking about Trados and Mensors, right? Smart CAD. So there would be many more CAD tools like that on the market. And just a quick reminder here that you may call yourself English learner only, but these days it asks for much more than just English skill or language skill. You need to have knowledge about computers, you need to know how technology runs, and sometimes you need to have just a little bit of IT knowledge because these tools, there will be a lot of them, and for certain clients, they have their own software and their own tool or system, and we need to get used to using them. And some of them are like hard. I took a lot of time and spent a lot of time on just learning how to use one tool, and this is also a bargaining point for you because it was a painful story for myself. I used to work for a Japanese automobile manufacturer, and they had their own system for translation. Of course, with all the translation memories, with all the terms in that, but it was like you had to do every single dots and comma and everything manually, and it took like half an hour to finish just 5 sentences. So it would be very beneficial for you if you understand the difficulty level of using a technology. Then you get the right pay for your time.
So a lot of skills rather than just language, just English, right? And that also leads me to the next topic of our discussion. This is about profession-related question. Like besides English, besides the language skill, there are more things that we need to study, that we need to do in order to keep learning. So can you just give us, right, the two speakers, can you just recommend some strategies that students can apply in order to continuously learning and to improve themselves so that they are well qualified for jobs or positions in this field? And can I just invite Ms. Quinn first?
Right, so I asked for a lot. I asked for a lot, sorry to say. So because you are going to be a contributor of a company, they ask for something from you, the qualification. So you graduate from a language school, then you have the language skills, so no problem here. But that is not enough because you are given. But it is also a plus for us as an English learner because those who graduate from other majors, they would never be given a chance to learn about culture, about phonetics, syntax, and those kind of things. I cannot list all the majors that I passed like 17 years ago, but I do understand that it's hard, extremely hard, and other majors, people, they cannot understand the pain of going through all these topics. But it helps because when we listen to just a saying that is very culture related, then we understand better than the other people and we can translate it better. So that is a good point, a plus for you. And besides that, of course, if you work for a certain sector like accounting, you need to learn about accounting. By the way, I have a financial specialist certificate for myself also. So it was a plus. The more certificates, the better, because it proves that you have the qualification or at least the relevance to apply for a job. Because if you just jump to the bank and say, I would like to be a translator here, they will ask, what do you know about a bank? Or if you want to apply for, let's say, similar industry, then doing 1 or 2 jobs in the same field would be a plus that you have the experience. So the more knowledge, the better. And Alright, so professional skill. I need to also say that you need to continuously improve yourself and your knowledge. And doing so, I always recommend people to read every day, read something new every day. But of course, I fail to do that. I don't have time to do the same. But I am forced to do that unwillingly, because every day I will have a different task for a different industry, and I have to read the materials. And when you are forced to do that, your task, your job is to force yourself a little bit harder to read wider, not just the materials. Let's say you are going to translate about labor law today, and labor law is something very Vietnamese, but in that there will be some reference to international laws. Then please try to have a look at that international document also, because it widens your view and it also gives you more preparation and knowledge that you will for sure never try to read that piece of information willingly. So please force yourself to do so. And that is everything I need, and I think the industry needs from you, because with knowledge you can prove that you can do the job. But without knowledge, then no one has the confidence to assign a task for you. And these days we have a very friendly mode of working, that we have one senior person working with a junior person. We did that, we sat in the same booth, and she supported me with the specific parts that I assigned to her, that I trust that she could do that. And this is a very good growing model. But at least you have to prove that you could do that. You had something, you had knowledge, and you read about it before, or you touched it before. Otherwise, you are just like something very, very blur in the eye of employers.
So you can see that there are a lot of practical tips that you can apply every day. Don't just read the course book, don't just read the chapter that I assigned you. Huh? Okay. Right? Open yourself, read things out there, because maybe one day then you're going to be the interpreter or the translator for certain field that you are interested in today. Right? And how about me? Besides the continuous learning, is there anything else that you did, or you think that the interpreter to be or translator to be should do in order to advance in this career and to develop in this career?
So yeah, I think continuous learning is like really important, and I just want to add on to what Ms. Wen have just shared about how your linguistic background would act as a plus for you in this industry. Like for example, when I was studying for this particular field, and I encountered a lot of new words, and when I come to another field, sometimes you will see these words again, and not like the exact same word, but some sort of morphological resemblance, where your background in morphologies will come in great assistance in cases like that. And another thing is, I think you're gonna love what you do. That sounds very cliche, but it is what it is. I've heard a lot of people said that people only do translation or interpreting because they have no other ways. Like there's this person who majored in something else, I don't remember, but they said that because they don't want to do what they do, so now they're in this, they do not want to work. And I said, oh, I don't think that's a really nice thing to do. I think that you should be in an industry for your love of it, because at the end of the day, that is what's gonna keep you in this industry, because there's a lot of ups and downs. And yeah, you're gonna appreciate your work and love what you do.
Okay, and Jenny, besides learning, how about like more relationship, networking as a way in order to develop in this field?
Yeah, networking. That is certainly very important, especially now I'm working as a freelancer. So first of all, I think the first step for those who have little to no experience if you want to get your first job, is that you're gonna do well in class first. Because like there's many reasons behind that besides the knowledge and the skill that you're gonna get from it. Your lecturers are a great source of references as well if you think about it. They've been working with a lot of the industry professionals, they know a lot of people, and yeah, if you do well in class, you will make an impression. Yeah, it is what it is. And also, this is something that I do personally when I was doing interpretation job at international exhibition. Is that this is outside working hour, okay? In working hour, you only do the work. But outside working hour, I tend to talk to other interpreter working around me, even if they have a different language pairs. Like I've talked to one that do Vietnamese Korean, Vietnamese Chinese, Vietnamese Japanese. Maybe you will not collide anywhere later in your career path, but it's nice to keep your connection with them because maybe one day the client asks for English, Vietnamese interpreter or translator, and yeah, they know you, they know what you do and how you're doing your work, so that could be a source of networking as well.
Yeah, I totally agree at this point because that was also how I built my team. We started individually and then we got to know each other through events like that, through collaboration opportunities, and we had friendships, we have a lot of fun together, and we could refer jobs to each other. But what I actually want to add is also the professional skills. We so call it professional, but I just want to emphasize that this is also very personal because it's how you keep your work-life balance. Because you know, translation and interpretation is extremely pressure job. It's not easy. It's not like chill at home doing some writing, reading, and just read some and correct some words and that's how I work. No, you have deadlines, tons of deadlines here. You have customers, clients complains that why is this one you are using this word, why are not using this word, and you have to combat, you have to defend your product. So it's translation pressure, and also for interpretation, it is also a hard work. I have to say, I'm kind of absent-minded. You have seen it from the beginning. I keep jumping back and forth, and that happens to me after doing the simultaneous job for a long time, because you know when we work simultaneously, I keep listening and speaking at the same time, and after I finish the task, I hardly remember what I just said during that afternoon. And sometimes you don't just work in dual mode, you work solo. And when you work so low like that, you like keep listening and speaking for 2 continuous hours or even extreme cases, you do that for 4 continuous hours. And after that, you are like exhausted, like you fall on the ground and pass away immediately. So that happens to me these days. You know, this is the peak season. And taking care of your health and keep the work and life balance and prepare yourself that this is a lot of pressure waiting for you when you choose to do this task. But just like Nghi said, love what you do, enjoy what you do. Because for me, my motto when I go to work every day would be, I am going to learn something new today, meet new people today, and earn at the same time. And you know, this industry pays well, yeah?
It's a very good thing, right? I'm learning something today, and yeah, I'm earning today too. Okay, and you know, I totally agree with what Miss Wen said, because you know, I just do some simultaneous interpreting event, and even though I'm in my 18s now, I look like I'm in my 30s. Alright, everyone.
You still look very 18, huh?
And you know that, and then I come back to my teaching job, and I hope that, okay, when I meet young people every day, right, I will become younger. Okay? Okay? Right? Right? Alright, everyone, so I think that that's all for me, because I asked too many questions already. The organizer also received some questions from you. However, you know, don't be shy. Just feel free to raise your hand and ask any question that you want to ask right now, and then you can have some face-to-face interaction. It's much more interesting than having me read the question for you, right? So everyone, now let's move on to the Q&A section. And yeah, the two speakers are waiting for your questions, everyone. All right. They're thinking about you too because they worry that you're a little bit tired after talking for an hour. So they will give you some time to rest.
I could speak for 4 hours, so no worry.
All right. I know you have the questions. You sent us a long list of questions, and I know some of them have already been answered through our talk. However, there are still some questions that I would love to invite you to ask the speakers in person. We need someone to go first. Yeah, Tú. Do you have the microphone? Yes, let me check.
I don't usually look that gentle, right?
So thank you so much, and I have a question. So I've heard Ms. Lee talk about the remote interpreter job. So I haven't heard that term before. So I want to ask that how many type of interpreter job are there, and what is remote interpretation?
Okay, so I will answer that question, and I hope that Ms. Quinn can help me when okay. So remote interpreting or remote interpretation is, for what I've done, is that basically you're talking to a computer, yeah? Like we have a webinar or a workshop or a meeting, a conference, anything like that online, on Zoom. And most of the time you and the speaker that you are interpreting for are not in the same room or not next to each other. So you're sitting even half around or apart from each other, and you do the interpretation work. So I don't know if I know all the forms or the types there is, but as far as I'm concerned, there is consecutive and simultaneous remote interpreter, so RSI and RCI. Yeah. And do you have it?
Yeah, basically just consecutive and simultaneous, but you are working with the clients or you're working on your own with the computer. Because in the past there would just be consecutive or simultaneous mode, but since the pandemic, everybody was locked down at home, and then we started having platforms. So these days we usually use Zoom. So the picture you saw right there was me at home, and all dressed up for myself only and with the headset. But be careful that some clients will insist on certain type of technical requirements. So let's say you have to use the USB type of headset, and you need to have certain let's say technical requirements for your computer, like operation system or the RAM and memory and those kinds of things to really satisfy, and also your internet connection quality and silent environment, because they will listen to you directly from their headset. So whatever noise, they will hear it. So make sure that you meet all the requirements and prepare well for those virtual events, because it's really virtual, it's just you. But there will be a lot of platforms these days. We can use Teams, MS Teams, but Teams doesn't support the simultaneous form yet. So the most common one would be still Zoom. And for international agencies, there will be like Interbrify or interracial. So there will be a lot of integration platforms like that, and you work directly on their platform rather than installing anything on your computer. And when you finish that job, then it just run off.
Last question. I gave up my microphone. So no more question.
requirement. The requirement.
Yến.
Tay Yến.
So I've heard from Ms. Nghi that you have encountered a situation where your client asks you to do something out of your responsibilities. And my question is that how do you stand your ground if you are a freelancer compared to how would you do so if you work for a company? And are you scared that by standing your ground and holding a boundary would upset your client? And how would you deal with that situation?
Okay, thank you for your question. That is not an easy question at all. I'm still trying to figure things out at this point. Yeah, back then I did not speak for myself when cases like that happen, and I just let it happen because at the time I was quite ignorant of all the legal things. About all the contracts and non-disclosures agreement, all the kind of thing. So basically, I was not protected. But now, I think that to have when you are assigned, when you are hired, you should have some sort of legal document to back you up, certain contracts or anything like that. And about speaking for yourself that may upset your customer. Of course they're gonna be upset. They're asking for it and you're not giving it. But I think it's a thing about like "thổ mua vừa bán." You know, this is an agreement. We are standing equally. So think about it. If doing that will not upset them, but it will upset you, and being upsetting will definitely affects your mood when you're working, and also your attitude toward a job. Like, I'm supposed to do this, but all this thing happened, and I'm suddenly just not interested in it. Think about it that way. It will affect the qualities of your jobs as well. So in cases like that, although most of the time for me it just doesn't work very well, but try to talk to them. Try to talk to them that although you want me to work, for this time, for this one event, I was told that it will begin at 9. It will begin at 9 sharp. And I arrived like at 8:45, 15 minutes prior to the event, and they only begin at 9:30. 9:30, so I waited there like 45 minutes doing absolutely nothing. And then when it's payday, they just said that no, that 30 minutes is gone because you did not do anything and we cannot pay you for that. At that time, I did try to talk to them about all this kind of thing, about how we agreed to do it this way, agreed to do that way, but it just doesn't work, and I just have to give in. But yeah, you should be very, very clear and apparent, transparent to your clients before that. Think about yourself as well, because you're spending equally with your clients.
I just have a quick reminder here that me encountered the same situation that she was forced to do something out of the scope. But coming back to the ethics, when I talk about ethics, the most important thing would be quality. And you can only deliver quality once you have a qualification. So if you are asked to do something out of your skill, just say no. Don't take it for any reason. Don't be friendly to them and give in and okay, I will try. When it is rude, it's totally your fault. They will just blame on you. And that just happens to us. Although we've been working in the field for how many years, but if it is something extremely in-depth, like, okay, medical, but skin is okay, hair is okay, but we talk about eyes and tooth and blood and everything is no, I'm not a doctor, I don't have that kind of skill and knowledge, go find a doctor to do that for you. So learn how to say no. Don't just take anything and just comfort yourself by saying that, okay, I could do that, I could have the first try, and because I am helping them, they would not blame me for that. They would just blame you because you are the only one to take the risk and to take the responsibility for the whole thing that they pay for, and you take that for free. So it's unfair. So please be careful and try to say no.
You was absent in my class yesterday. However, because you asked a question today, I believe thank you. Right? Any more question, everyone?
Hello, Miss Queen and Miss May. Thank you for your speech today. I have a question that what change have you witnessed in client requirements for translators recently? Yeah, what changed?
thay đổi
It's like before the client need the translator do something, and nowadays they need. I think that should have some requirement to us to convert the AI and something that they need. The translator, the interpreters do more have a like specific skill, I guess. So can you give me some details?
So I've been older, so I'm going to take this one first. Because I used to be a translator looking at my book on one hand and type the translation on the other hand and doing everything manually. And the biggest change now would be the time pressure. Because in the past you did everything purely manually, so you could estimate the time that you would finish that kind of request. But now with AI, people assume that translation is a fast job. Then you have to have the skill of bargaining the time for yourself, because they think that just throw it into Google, you have the translation corrected for a little bit, give me the translation tomorrow. That happens. And your task is to clarify what you would do with them, that even I can use translation, machine translation for this one, but I still need to read this and that and previous tasks or related documents to fine-tune the final translation, and that cost me 3 days, not just one night. So I think the biggest change would be the time pressure, and it's also change in your skill set.
So thank you for your sharing. So I'm kind of curious about how you guys do your job. So like for translator, when you like receive a project, what are the steps in translating that project? And like in what stage will you use AI in your translation process?
So talking about the process, it depends on a lot of factors. Mostly the amount of work that you are giving. If you are giving just like 1 pages of text, it will be different. But if you are giving a big project, like 1,000 pages, it will definitely be different. And because of that, the involvement of capitals and AI will be different as well. For cases when there's just I've not been working with very large projects before, but like continuous work. So most of the time, I will if it's just, I gotta consider the format of the text that was given. If I will fed it into the cat tools and do the translation there. And one of the very big benefits of the cat tool is that after you're done with the translation, it will help you with the format. Like it will make the Vietnamese translation in the same format as the English one, and that is a really nice one. And you're talking about the involvement of when do we use AI in the process of translation. I would say it's it doesn't have a very specific time. Whenever we feel the need of it. The thing about AI is that it will help to save you some clicks. Okay, so back then without AI, when you have to search for a word, you would have to type it down, see it in various contexts before deciding on what you believe to be the best translation for it. But now with AI, it will do it faster, saving you some clicks, and it will give you kind of a holistic result with all the references that you can go back and look at it. So I think at any time that you can use a little bit help of AI.
Right, so we just heard from Yi from the viewpoints of a project team member and from the project team leader. Now, I need to divide my team into separate functions. And as I said earlier somewhere, there will be translators, and then reviewers, and proofreaders. And that's why we will charge clients high, because we have a big team taking care of their tasks. But that is the ideal international best practice only. In Vietnam, it's really hard to prove to the clients that I need to do 3 steps to finish one product. So usually the process, the translation process in Vietnam would have just 2 steps, the translation and the review stages. And usually AI can be used for the first stage when translation is need to be done. Then for the review stage, it will be mainly manual task, because we need human to make sure that of the consistency, the vocabulary in use, of the preciseness and accuracy and everything. So there will be ideally 3 steps, but usually there will be 2 steps. And of course, we need a very strong team of reviewers, and that's my headache right now, because I am the only QC person in my company, I have to say, because I started the company, but at that time it was purely to support me on legal aspects, because we need to sign the contracts with customers, we need to have VAT invoices and contracts and everything. So it was just me and the clients, and gradually the company grew, but I am still here. I'm getting older, not growing. So I need to grow a team to do that for me. But it's hard to clone yourself. So we need to ask for the same level of knowledge of that topic and the same level of, let's say I am a perfectionism person. So I will ask for a lot, that's what I insist all the time. And I want my reviewers to do the same. So it's not easy. We need translator first and then reviewers. And reviewers will be paid a little bit higher now. It was different in the past. Translator had to spend more effort on doing the job. But now AI helps them a lot with that. So they got some cut in their pay. And now the reviewers will be asked for more, because it will be more inputs as a human. So that's why you need to try to turn yourself from translators to reviewers.
Yes. Questions?
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing with us today. That I have a question. That means you will just talk about the advancement of AI that led to a very serious problem that some employees just overuse the AI too much. So I think, or I have a question that what quality do you need from us as the employee to fulfill your requirement?
Well, I think I listed a lot. Is it not enough? Well, just be a, what do you say? Be a learner. You need to have the love for reading. You need to have the love for learning new things every day. And like for me, she said that you need to have the can-do manner. But for me, I also ask you to have the say no manner. So it depends. But be flexible and adapt to the situation. But I think don't rely too much on technology. Then it would be very useful these days, because if you just, like I said earlier, if you think having a tool can support you with this and that and submit it to get paid, then you will be replaced very soon. But what you need these days would be the ability to write the right prompt for AI to give you the right results, and also the knowledge. You need to be more knowledgeable than AI on that topic to realize that it is wrong at certain point. Because let's say this happens these days, that the world is more connected socially. And we use a lot of shorts and reels and those kind of clips and TikTok clips also. And we will have auto translation for the subtitles. And there will be disasters on those clips that I see every day, that we have some guy saying that, hello everyone, this is my cat, he's enjoying the sun, and the translation, the auto translation would be, chào các bạn, con mèo của mình đây, anh ấy đang tận hưởng ánh nắng. And it will be like meaningless. But for us, we would just say that, con mèo của tôi, bé mèo của tôi, em ấy. The Vietnamese is abundant in meanings, in synonyms, and the key answer to this question, I believe, would be good at English, but please be better in Vietnamese.
Yeah, if you take some of Miss Zhao classes, you will hear this a lot of the time. When I was studying with her, she always tell me and some of my classmates that you are guys speaking Vietnamese like a foreigner. You're not Vietnamese at all. And yeah, I think besides English, you should definitely work on your Vietnamese, because yeah, it is really important. People usually look down on the native tongue, on the native language, but yeah, it is really important. And I think Vietnamese is, yeah, it's not easy at all.
Yeah, be proud that you are Vietnamese. And just another quick reminder, I have so many reminders today. I told you I yell every day at my people. Don't use both English and Vietnamese daily. We are Vietnamese, and we are going to be the bridge between Vietnamese and English, and you use it in the middle like that, no one understands you. And another thing would be, I know you are already very good at English speaking, so please be also good at Vietnamese speaking, pronouncing precisely, because we are Vietnamese, we can easily understand each other, but for English, one ending sound is made wrong, and it made the wrong meaning. So please try to be very precise with your pronunciation. And don't just say that today em plan là em sẽ present cái này, thì em hy vọng là mọi người enjoy it. It's nonsense, okay? And I believe that you guys will become translators these days, interpreters these days, and also speakers. And I hate speakers like that, because when I sit behind them, I interpret for them. They say that because the audience today is Vietnamese, I'm going to use Vietnamese, okay? And their Vietnamese would be, xin chào tất cả các anh chị, I hope that hôm nay thì cái market này sẽ là một cái gì đó impressive. And no one understand everything. And it's like, we were interpreting, and we interpret what? They are speaking half Vietnamese and half English, and what should we do in that case? So it all starts from you. You are the one that are making that biggest problem these days, especially English learners, so please make it separate, okay? Vietnamese and English, not both at the same time. And that happens that when you need that word, you remember in daily conversation, but when it comes to work, you just forget it, because you are familiarize yourself with that word in another language.
QR code ngoài đầu bàn. Ôi, QR code ngoài đầu bàn nó không biết để làm gì.
Bị quay rồi.
First of all, thank you for all of your sharing. I recently I have read on Facebook some comments, and they said that when you are studying in a certain major, except from linguist, it will be easier for you to learn English and then become a translator or an interpreter than studying in linguistics first, and then you have to research more on another major to do the translator thing. So what do you think about this opinion? And doesn't that, if it is true, then doesn't that mean that we have to spend money on studying something new other than linguist to become a good translator or interpreter?
I think I already said this before, like a lot of certificates, a lot of qualifications, but simply put, you spend 4 years learning English here and all the necessary linguistic skills, and it takes you only 2 or 3 months to have like a vocational course or a professional course like I did with my professional like finance specialist one, 3 months, and not that much amount. But now you go to Google, 1 hour English learning with native speaker, how much would it cost? And then you can compare. So that's just a quick answer, but to be a little more in depth, then as I said earlier, we have the benefits, we have the advantages of being a linguist because we understand languages very deeply and we can learn other skill sets because you can choose to work for a certain sector. So you learn because you will be given some kind of training at that company, so it's time for you to learn. But for those who graduate from other majors, not everybody can learn English. So they have to spend a lot of time learning English. And from other majors, learning English to become a translator, it is a long journey. But for us, we are already translators now. We just need to fit in the necessary knowledge and vocabulary, and that's it.
Hello, Ms. Win and Ms. Yangi. So I heard you mention a lot about the knowledge base as well as all the certificates that we need to get. But however, as someone who is still very inexperienced, do you have any type of techniques or resources that you recommend for us to practice our reflex between 2 languages?
So I think that spending your time to study and get those certificates is the one way that you can enrich your knowledge and also partly enhance your skills. About these certificates, there's plenty of them out there right now, from the free one to those that you have to pay a certain amount to take. There's all kind of thing, cover all kind of fields, all kind of skills. And yeah, they're out there. So I think that taking up those courses will definitely help for those who have little to no experience and they could not like get onto a job.
Yeah, reflex. Right. So firstly, for the certificate part, I said that because my direction. Choose one sector that you want to aim for, rather than being out there on the market and someone asks me to do this, I would do this. Someone asks me to do that, I would just take it. You have to say that you like to work for the bank, or you like to work for accounting, or you like to work for society or community related topics. Then try to find courses related to those to build your knowledge. Whenever you have time now, I believe you have more time than me now. So please try to learn right now, okay, when you still can do that. And okay, so that's the first part. Choose the path first and build your knowledge on that. And when you are already professional, then other job opportunities would come, and then it will be like me, you will be forced to learn new things, okay. So that will come later. And then for the reflection, okay, she's right here. Just come and seek advices from your lecturers. Like, you don't need to have a class with her or some other lecturers. You have a lot of teachers and lecturers at school, and of course I know they are busy, but try to torture them a little bit because they are willing to do so. So instead of classes, you can just practice at home. You can just listen and then translate. Try to do it with both languages and find some time sitting down with them, asking for advices. Let's say, I'm not sure if I translate this in the correct way or not, or I think I'm doing good at this part, but for this part I'm stuck. What can I do? So your teachers, your lecturers will be the first source that you can still seek when you are at home. At school. And when you are at home, you could find other sources, like I said earlier. There are courses, interpretation skill courses. And their plus would be they have more real life interpreters that could point out your mistake for you. And you could try to approach them. I am among them, so just approach me. I'm willing to. Also, one more thing, I believe that the United Nations, they have some a training resource page. You can Google it. The whole course are there for free. But I'm not sure you can have the ability to reflect on your products or not.
Maybe we have enough time for only about 1 or 2 questions. Okay, so just to let you know in advance, Dina, you want to ask?
I wanted to ask about the reflex. So the reaction time when you change it between languages.
Yes, I want to ask about the reflex, so the reaction time that you're changing between languages. How do you practice that? Is there any tips and tricks that you would like to share? Yes. Thank you very much.
I think that one of the things that you're gonna do with you're gonna practice a lot. You gotta practice a lot before you get better. Like practicing here doesn't really have to take place at your workplace when you are offered or assigned certain kind of jobs. You can just do it at home. Like you can just open a TED Talk video and imagine yourself being that speaker, interpreter, and work on it. Like the more you work on it, the better you get. Also, that is thing that I notice when I'm doing interpretation is mindfulness. So try to limit that. Trying to make it as natural, as smooth as you can. Like you can take some notes, and while the speaker is speaking, try to come up with the translation inside of you before you speak. And when they're stopping, you can have a 1 second or two to reorganize everything, and then you go all out. And when you are doing translation, don't think too much about it, because I don't know if it happened to everyone, but it's happened to me sometimes that if I was speaking and I just think about, wait, what am I saying? What is next? Whatever. If that happens, it's an actual phenomenon in linguistic mindfulness, and if it's happened, then you have the tendency to stop, and the flow of the whole speech is halted. So yeah, that is one thing you can think about.
Just a quick sharing here that instead of seeking advices from the lecturers or also from other sources of interpreters, you could also work among yourself at the group, and you can practice like because you have like mock-up conference, something like that. So one would pretend to be the speaker, and we have an interpreter, and you can switch the roles, so you can give comments on and feedback on the performance of each other. Then, because sometimes we could not realize the mistake we make, but the others would when they observe you. So it's also a good way of reflection.
So thank you, Ms. Quỳnh and Ms. me for such a meaningful speech. I have a question for this one. Is that you said that we can have a lot of courses online, and besides of courses, we can improve ourselves by reading books. But can you, besides those, can you recommend like some communities or like some Facebook group or some people who in this field that we can learn or we can have more like more reflection on ourselves from them?
There will be a lot sitting in front of you right now. Sorry, just one moment of advertising. But there are a lot of Facebook communities for interpreters and translators, or even translation jobs, those kind of things. So you can just I have like Reflective English. It is a Facebook page, and then Cafe Dịch thuật, those kind of things. There are a lot of, you can just go interpretation and translation forums and pages. You can find tons of them. And also, like I said, I am writing things on my page. You can read from those. I have my TikTok. You can also see something from those. And we have a lot more interpreters on the market that are doing those kind of communication things to showcase what we are doing. So you can really observe what we are doing every day. And I think with those kind of sharings, you can learn something. And we have courses from those agencies. Then for my course, it is not available yet, but it is designed in a way that you are given the theory, you are given the exercise, and later you have to sit with me and accept me pointing out all your mistakes. So I believe that it is the most personalized way for you to improve. Yeah.
Alright, so there are a lot of questions being asked, and I think that all of us have some very enjoyable moments together, right? Okay, so now I think that it's time for us to wrap up. And before we stop, I would like to invite Dr. Wing gonna come here and present our speakers with the flowers and a little gift as our token of appreciation. And could I invite the two speakers to the front? Okay, so first of all, I'd like to just have a quick closing for our workshop today. I believe that all of the students from School of Languages benefit a lot from the discussion. Right? I think that all of them fully engaged. A lot of interesting questions been sent and addressed. Right? So we like to send a huge thanks and appreciation, right, to today's guest speakers. So. And remember, we also have some kind of group photo. We also prepared some small gifts for you, and also the certificate.
chị
And a big round of applause for our very kind speakers today. Thank you so much. And now could I invite everyone to proceed to the stage for a group photo. Okay, this is the evidence for the internship. Alright, just kidding. Please come up here, everyone. So for a moment, a group photo together. You know, and please remember, after the group photo, please come back to your table in order to scan the QR code for attendance, because the form is not open yet. So only after the group photo can you scan the QR code in order to check the attendance.
Okay, make sure that you check attendance because without it, you will not receive the certificate for the event, for the internship. Okay. Mọi người phải lên chụp hình đi, mai mốt mà gặp lại chị Quỳnh nó đưa tấm hình ra chị nhớ em không? em có dự buổi chia sẻ này của chị nè. Chắc là em mời cái speaker thì mình sáng lên trên một chút xíu ha. Rồi các bạn ơi, các bạn mình có thể tính 2 hàng nha, thêm 1 hàng ở phía dưới để mình có thể lựa chọn được.
Nè hồi lúc mấy cái bánh dài.
Bạn nào cảm thấy mình hơi nhỏ nhỏ thì bước lên phía trước giúp cô đi. Đúng rồi, nhỏ bé bé xin bước lên phía trước đi. Bạn nào cao cao thì mình có thể là đứng ở phía sau. Ok. Các bạn đứng sát vào nhau giúp cô chút xíu, ở phía khúc giữa này nó bị hở quá nè, nó lạnh khúc giữa quá, chưa ai đứng. Từ từ chị, từ từ Quỳnh để xíu đi, giờ mỏi để lấy nó vô xong rồi hết rồi. Các bạn nào chụp hình về điều phối giúp cô với.
Mấy bạn ở phía trước á, mấy bạn vào thấy đi lấy cho mấy bạn nào mà đứng phía trước á, hơi bị xuống. Đứng đi cao đó, hoặc là đằng sau, hoặc là xuống xíu. Các bạn hai bên này đứng ngoài cùng á, mình vô giữa xong rồi vô luôn đi các bạn, vô thì mình quỳ xuống thôi các bạn. Ý là hai cặp cái bên vô giữa luôn. Đúng rồi, mấy bạn ở bên kia luôn. Vô giữa xong ngồi xuống. Các bạn ở bên kia vô một xíu thôi, các bạn vô giữa luôn. Vô đây hết chỗ. Đó, trời ơi. Xinh đẹp với thấp tầm sai. Rồi, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Pose khác đi ạ. Chưa rồi. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Dạ rồi.
Rồi các bạn ơi, cái đường link điểm danh nó sẽ có hiệu lực trong vòng 5 phút nha. Nên là mọi người hãy đi trước khi mọi người bước ra khỏi cánh cổng đó nha. Vì cánh cửa, các bạn bước ra khỏi cửa là xong nha. Rồi, những bạn nào đã có scan rồi thì các bạn refresh